Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of The Minimalist by Kailee Pedersen. This is a book from St. Martin's Press. It's coming out August 18th, 2026. It's a contemporary fiction slash horror kind of. I received this book from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review. Encapsulating the idea of the suffering artist, The Minimalist is a blend of contemporary body and psychological horror. What's it about? As the last and greatest student of famed minimalist composer Ryder Wakefield, Mia Voss's rise to prominence in the insular world of classical music has long been assured. When Ryder dies unexpectedly, she inherits everything, including the unfinished manuscript of his final composition, the mysterious Death Fugue, music for orchestra. Haunted by memories of her tragic romance with Ryder's late son Oliver, like Mia, an Asian American adoptee, Mia leaves her girlfriend behind and returns to Ryder's home to finish his last work. There, Mia is forced to confront her complex relationship with Ryder, who hid his Jewish and gay identities to become one of the most important 20th century American composers, her lingering guilt over Oliver's suicide, and her own musical ambition as the manuscript begins to exert a disturbing, mesmerizing hold over her. Just to start, this book references a lot of self-harm. The entire book is essentially self-harm, so if that is a trigger for you, avoid this, please. It's quite graphic in the self-harm as well. So yeah, body horror level self-harm. So yeah. So I'm torn about this book because I totally understand what it was doing, but I also wasn't super compelled by it. I really liked the writer's kind of style. I liked kind of the way that she wrote. I really kind of thought the idea was really cool, like the concept of it. But yeah, I just couldn't like get into it in a sense. So the story is a sort of descent into madness, but Mia already had a lot going on before the story starts, so it's not like something is driving her to this. It's like she's already there. This is more like she's created an instance to make it worse, I guess you could say, in that she's holed herself up in her dead mentor's house. It's very artsy. It's told in a stream of consciousness style where Mia moves back and forth between memory and the present. It's not hard to follow, though, and it explains why she is having the mental health issues that she's having. The main issue for me was that I found the backstory, especially the parts with her and Oliver and their relationship, dull and repetitive. I just found it really hard to care or connect with that part for a breakdown. So those parts were, to be honest, for me, a bit of a slog. I don't know. It's funny because when she was in the present, I was really immersed, and I found that really fascinating. And even the flashbacks with her and Ryder when she was a child, I thought that was interesting too. But then anything to do with Oliver, I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, all right. Also, I guess this might just be me reading into it too much because I really like kind of like digging into psychology and things like that. It was almost too easy to see why Mia was suffering. There's no real revelation or twist in this story. Like sometimes with these descent into madness stories, it builds and builds, and then there's some kind of a reveal or a twist to kind of add to that or to kind of make it or to even give them like a catharsis moment. But here, it's clear from the outset that she feels unwanted and unloved, that she's much too focused on achieving outward happiness, through recognition or acclaim and others loving her, versus feeling it inside, like she doesn't love herself. She hurts herself either physically or by engaging in unhealthy relationships to try and wrestle with this in the sense of it's one of those interesting things where she's hurting, but she hurts herself more because then it makes sense to her why she's hurting. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the thing about this book. If you already have kind of an idea of that kind of mental kind of spiral, I think this book makes a lot of sense. And I think for me, I definitely understand that. So maybe that was my thing. I was like, oh, I know, I understand this too much. She does the same thing with her composing. She does it to try and win accolades, to impress her teacher, to show the world, her parents, both her adopted parents and I guess her birth parents, that she has value, because a lot of her kind of mental issues is the fact that she was adopted and she felt unloved because of this, and also because her mother was very distant. And so all of this stuff, she's got all this going on. And so she's not creating her art out of a love of artistry or the compulsion to kind of get out something that is inside her that she wants to express. She's doing it to like gain the love of others. And so it's like a form of self-loathing. And this self-loathing is compounded when her teacher dies, because she doesn't have anyone, the one person, I guess, that would give her the most kind of encouragement is not there anymore. And then because of this, she doesn't connect with those who actually would be good for her in the outer world because she doesn't feel that she deserves it due to her feeling unwanted, like as a child. And then she locks herself up in her teacher's house, which makes her feel this all the more, displacing her frantic thoughts onto this orchestral piece until it's finished and she has no idea what to do. That isn't really a spoiler. This is like her deal from the get go. The issue is that these ideas just keep circling and repeating and without really building. And then when she has a chance to really do something cathartic for herself, she chooses not to. And you wonder, what is the point of all of this? I guess that's what I get out of it. I'm sure. I guess that's the thing with a literary fiction too, is that someone else might read this and get something completely different from it. So I'm not saying that this is actually an issue. It's just the reason why I wouldn't give this book like 5 stars. I think it's like a 3.5 star for me. I think it might have worked a bit better as a novella. That might have toned down the repetition a bit. It also didn't help that Mia doesn't come across as very sympathetic. She's a disaster, yet she's also kind of pretentious. So you don't really feel sorry for her. As I said, though, the author has beautiful prose and a clear, concise language. So when I was engaged with the story, I was entranced. But unfortunately, that wasn't like the whole time. It was only some of the time. So yeah, I guess I just have kind of like mixed feelings about this one. Um, yeah, I guess if you really like Descent into Madness stories, this is essentially that. If you really like a deep look into the complexities of someone's kind of neuroses or kind of psychotic break, this is a good one. If you really like, I didn't even mention this, but there is a lot of references to music in this. Obviously, there's a lot of references to composers. So if you're really big into classical music, or if you play an instrument, you might get a lot of it as well because you might pick up on all the name drops. Yeah, I guess if you're like an artsy person, you might like this too. And if you like body horror, there's a lot of like kind of gross body horror movements or moments in this book. So yeah, thank you to the publisher and to Kailee for the e-arc. I really appreciate it. This book, I will say, was interesting. Thanks.